What's up? Welcome to Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show. The man down there, Mike, Superstar Merc, the man in the middle, Dashing Derek. And my name is Devon. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Tuesday, subscribing, liking, and all the good stuff. Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show, so we can give you guys some great, fun content to make you go in La La Land for about a half hour or so. Make sure you hit that subscription, the comments, all that good stuff. And check out our Pro Wrestling Tee store. Got a lot of T-shirts available for you as well. All right, so, well, the man has been in the news for quite some time, good, bad, and ugly. Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon, who is 78 years old, just doesn't seem like he's going to go away. It's a guy that's going to be really hard to erase completely from the world of pro wrestling, as some people would like. There's a lot of rumors going around that Vince McMahon may be starting his own brand new promotion. How do we feel about this, boys?
Yeah, I just don't know if there's enough talent out there to start a new promotion. I had heard that he had hired a PR firm to rehab his image a little bit. Actually, the same firm that Harvey Weinstein hired. So Tony Khan can make a joke in there somewhere. But as far as the talent that's out there, I mean, maybe he could buy a TNA or MLW or something like that. But I just don't think there's enough talent out there. Like when AEW started, you had the Elite, you had Cody Rhodes, Kenny, Jericho was available, Moxley was available. Plus, at the time, WWE was kind of struggling a little bit, so there was a window there. I don't see as much of a window anymore. Plus, how many wrestlers are really going to want to take a paycheck from Vince McMahon? They might be a little more principled, I think. Vince McMahon, he's had some other ventures like the XFL, the World Bodybuilding Federation, the XFL again. He had a restaurant, I think, and all those kind of failed a little bit. But maybe we could see him venture off away from pro wrestling again. Maybe some boxing. I mean, there's a lot of freak show fights out there. You got the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight coming up. Ryan Garcia's gotten a lot of buzz in the boxing world. I mean, he's familiar with promoting. So maybe he can try his hands into something else.
The number one most important thing in a wrestling company being national has nothing to do with talent. The number one and most important thing is a TV deal.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff had the money and the investors and was all set to buy WCW from Time Warner back in the day. And then that deal fell apart and was sold essentially to WWE because Eric Bischoff could not get a TV deal. Jeff Jarrett with Global Force Wrestling tried doing it with TNA Wrestling, branching off, starting his own promotion, shot pilot episodes, and couldn't get a network to pick it up. There's other companies right now that are competing for national TV space, and he has the money and the name power to potentially get that done, but that's option one. You could always pull out Brock Lesnar or some other big name talent that's not under contract, and we got to remember that for Vince to do something like this, it's not like he would be on TV tomorrow. It would be 6-9 months, something like that. There's a whole lot of contracts of talent that would be coming due that would essentially potentially take a bigger payday from where they're at, especially if they feel like they're being underutilized. But it starts with the TV deal.
Yeah, both great point by you guys. It's something that, maybe Vince McMahon doesn't, he wants to go out on his own terms. Maybe he wants no part of that at all. Maybe he just wants to be a silent partner. I mean, if his name gets cleared even in the slightest a little bit, I could see it happening down the road. Let us know what you guys think out there in the wrestling world. Would you like to see a Vince McMahon run a brand new promotion company, whether it be wrestling, boxing, MMA, or something completely different? And due time, I guess we will find out for sure. Derek, bringing to the table.
All right.
This jobber game. Please tell us all about it. What do we got
All
going
right,
on
we
here?
got a brand new game here. It's called Is This a 1980s Jobber? So basically, I give you an example. Barry Horowitz, was he a 1980s jobber? You could say yes or no. Obviously,
Yes.
yes, he was. All right, the first name, Strong. Was he a 1980s jobber? Ryder Strong. Devon.
No.
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 Like Merc. Both correct.
Oh, okay.
No, he was actually Sean Hunter from Boy Meets World.
Oh,
Ryder Strong. All right.
okay, good.
Name.
Shout out to Penga.
Yes.
Loved name number 2, Pork Chop Cash. Was he a 1980s jobber?
Man,
Devon.
that sounds like one for sure. Yes.
100% he was.
Oh,
Yes.
so, yes.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was a name in Memphis who was managed by Jimmy Hart. Pork Chop Cash was a 1980s jobber.
Nice.
All right. Name number 3. Here we go.
All right.
Rusty Brooks.
Rusty
Was
Brooks.
he a 1980s jobber?
Merc's going yes. I'll go no just to play
He
devil's
is,
advocate.
and he had a sweet mullet.
Oh!
Correct. Yes. Rusty Brooks was trained by Boris Malenko and worked in the Florida Territory.
Okay. Well, Merc
So,
knows the enhancement talent, I guess.
Merc.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
wrestled some of the
Yeah.
enhancement talent of the 80s.
Merc's got one
Many
up
of them.
on Devon. All right. Name number 4, Roger Klotz. Was he a 1980s
It's got to be no. No
jobber?
way. No.
Roger Klotz.
It probably is, but I'm going to say it's not.
You're both correct. No, he was actually the bully on Nickelodeon's Doug. Roger Klotz. All right, the guy with
Shout
the
out to
red-
Doug Funny. All
All
right.
right. The last name, here we go. Merc's up by 1.
Okay.
So, Devin, you got to get this. No pressure.
All right.
Dusty Wolf. Was
Yes.
he a
He
1980s
was.
jobber?
He was. I remember him.
Yes. He worked in world-class championship wrestling and was a top star in New Zealand and Japan. Merc picks up the victory, though, in the brand new game.
Quick little Dusty Wolf story.
Yes,
So,
please tell. Yeah.
My good friend Devon here already had a copy of the Lance Von Erich autobiography.
Oh,
True.
Purchased the Black Bart autobiography.
I got
Was
an
di-
extra one.
Got
yes.
an extra one because they had the same author.
Yep.
Or ghostwriter or whatever.
Yep.
And he gave me that copy. We in my hometown here, we had a power outage recently, and I had no internet or electricity for like 3 days. So I read that book, and Lance Von Erich
yes.
considers
Oh.
Dusty Wolf his best friend in the
there you
business. And there's some pretty good Dusty Wolf stories in there in South Africa and whatnot. Yeah, so we do have a book review segment coming to future episodes
Absolutely.
of Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show. And I will be doing that book.
Yes, that's
Not
a
the
good
book
one.
review.
So if you did read the Lance Von Erich book, then you know the story about Ultimate Warrior, right?
Yes.
And then in the hotel, and
They shared a room.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. You know.
Keep it PG.
Yes, absolutely. All right, that's a super fun game. Switching gears a little bit, AEW's got themselves a pay-per-view coming this month in the 26th, Double or Nothing at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Sin City. Always a great time. That's kind of where it all started back in 2019.
Yeah, AEW pay-per-views are always can't miss for me. The only complaint, they're a little bit long. They kind of go like, 4 or 5 hours. But I can't remember the last time that AEW's put on a bad pay-per-view, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
My only complaint about Double or Nothing is that match with the casino chip
Oh,
and the wild card, and
it's a
how
little confusing.
that's a very convoluted match concept, but they've debuted some pretty cool people. out
Yeah,
there. So,
absolutely. Our producer dug up some of the names. Awesome Kong, Bret Hart was there. John Moxley debuted on 2019 for Double or Nothing, so you never know who's going to appear for that. Definitely looking forward to that. And as you said, the 21-man casino battle royal, where the winner gets to face the Double or Nothing main event winner of the inaugural World Championship. The little trivia, we're going to go back to 2019. This was the same pay-per-view where Cody and Dustin had that amazing match as well. Do you guys remember who won the 21-man casino battle royal back in 2019? Trivia.
I'm going to go...
And if you know, drop us in the comments.
I think I might know. Hangman Page? Did he win?
Merc, who are you going to guess?
I want to say MJF.
It wasn't Hangman. Wasn't Hangman in the main event against Jericho, right? Yeah.
So-
So it's not him.
So I'm going to stop you right there. He was in the main event because he did win.
Oh,
Adam Hangman Page defeated MJF in the casino
Okay,
battle. He was the
see,
last
that's
one. So there you go. A little fun little trivia. So definitely look forward to checking out that pay-per-view in the near future. And speaking of pay-per-views, the WWE King and Queen of the Ring happening May 25th, 2024. They're going to be traveling overseas to Saudi Arabia. And speaking of spectacles, I mean, they put on the shows over there.
Yeah, it's always a big show there. I'm a sucker for tournaments. You know, I love tournaments. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out for sure.
Do you have any fond memories of the tournament, the King of the Ring, which was established in 1985? Don Morocco, shout out to the original Rock. Don Morocco scooped up that, and Bret Hart is the only two-time winner of the King of the Ring. Favorite King of the Ring moment or memory at all?
My favorite one that sticks out in my head was when Mabel won back in like 95,
Okay,
94.
yeah.
I didn't like Mabel because I'm like, this is a big guy. He can't do much in the ring. He's a tag team wrestler, men on a mission. However, he got over as King Mabel, and you definitely forgot about him being a tag wrestler. And he,
Daddy V.
yeah, and it worked for him. King Booker would probably be the favorite King Booker.
Yeah.
Like how he did all his shtick and tweaked his character for that. Like there's been some good ones.
Yeah, I would probably piggyback off that and say the 2006 Booker T beating Lashley. I think Booker just took it to a whole nother level. When it's done good like that, it's perfect. I love King Booker is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I got to go with the Austin 316. It was the birthplace of Austin 316. He
Right.
defeated Jake
In
the Snake
Milwaukee,
Ro-
Wisconsin.
In Milwaukee.
Shout out to the Mill.
Defeated Jake Roberts. He was getting stitched up in the back. He didn't know what Jake the Snake said in his promo. He
Yep.
said something about the Bible, so he came up with Austin 316
Yeah.
in such an iconic moment.
I think
Definitely one of my favorite ones.
Michael P.S. Hayes tipped him off, actually, of what he said, and then the birth. So in essence, I mean, you could say Michael P.S. Hayes or Jake Roberts started the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
in some
And
weird
allegedly, Triple H was supposed to win that year, but the curtain call happened, so he was punished. So, I mean, it was the perfect storm for Stone Cold Steve Austin and Austin 316, and away he went for sure.
Absolutely. If you got a favorite moment, king or queen, drop it in the comments below. We would love to check those out. And coming next month in June, I can't believe we're just flying along here. June, the Rise and Fall of World Championship Wrestling is going to explore a brand new docuseries with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and his ex-wife, Danny Garcia, the founder of $7. They're going to team up with the fellas from Dark Side of the Ring to give all of us wrestling fans who killed WCW docu-series. I mean, I'm assuming we're watching this. Comments, questions,
Yeah,
concerns?
I'll check it out. I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of WCW programming throughout the years about this subject, about who killed it. Was it Eric Bischoff? Was it the TV companies? Was it Vince McMahon?
Do you think it's going to teach you anything new at all, or is it
Not
going to be everything
really?
you know?
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be well done. The Dark Side of the Ring TV show is always great. Always entertaining.
Top notch.
So, and I'm sure The Rock, you know, he's definitely going to be invested in it, and it's going to be good. I'll watch it. I don't know how much more information there's going to be, like you said, about who killed WCW. So, but I'll check it out.
Merc, what do you think?
Anything like that is going to catch my interest, and I look forward to it. I'm going to watch it. But I think Derek summed it up very well. There's probably not going to be anything new or earth-shattering, but it is good to, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And some people might say AEW is headed down that road. Hopefully not. So I'm going to put you on the spot for some splash headline news. Who killed WCW in your minds?
I think it was Time Warner. I think we talked about the previous episode about having television and how important that is, and how Eric Bischoff, you know, he wanted to keep it alive. You know, we see a company like TNA that's lasted for 20 plus years. I think, WCW very well could still be around today if they had television. So I'm going to put it all on Time Warner.
So if they didn't have their hand in the cookie jar, WCW would still be around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Merc, who do you think?
I've read a lot on this topic. I've talked to a lot of people from that era, and
do you think it's the boys with the contracts that hurt it?
I
could almost tell like you wanted to say that, but you being one of the boys, you're like, I can't kick the boys under the table.
No,
but it didn't help.
The guaranteed contracts. So WCW had 120 wrestlers under contract, and they needed 16 to do house shows. And what would happen is all these top guys got paid whether they did the house show or didn't do a house show. So they started coming up with injuries. And then, you had talent didn't want to work with other talent.
Sure.
And then that caused a lot of the young talent to hit a glass ceiling. So they would go where there were opportunities. So names like Jericho, Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, The Big Show, they went elsewhere. And because the company at that time, other than Goldberg, was built around these 40-year-old dudes like Nash and Hall and Hogan and Savage and Flair, and you couldn't crack that glass ceiling because they didn't want to work with Rey Mysterio or Jericho. So the guaranteed contracts hurt, but the talent on the booking committee probably played a part in that as well. But it's like everything that's not a simple cut and dry answer. It's a combination of a lot of things. WCW changed leadership. So Eric Bischoff had a different boss a couple times. And
Sure.
then they all want to make their mark. And as WWE, which was WWF at the time, and the Attitude Era got raunchy, WCW couldn't compete like that. They were a little bit more family friendly with the standards and practices being what they were, and different advantages, disadvantages of population base and the pressure on ratings. They gave away like $60 million worth of pay-per-view money to do Nitro for free.
Yeah.
Like that's from a business standpoint is asinine and irresponsible. But it's just one thing,
right?
One person.
All right, fair enough. If you have any thoughts on WCW, if you watched it back in the day, or if you watched some documentaries about it or read some books, let us know your thoughts on WCW, who you think killed it. As we made the big announcement on the last show, we're going to be at a couple shows coming up here. We're going to be at ACW Water City Con, Wrestling Con. They always put on a great show in Oshkosh. May 11th, the former Dolph Ziggler will be out there. Jake Roberts, our friend Tugboat, and a ton more. A lot of great wrestling action, so make sure you get out there and check them out. And the RPW teaming up with Ultimate Wrestling Trivia for the Cascade Fireman's Picnic. Got a big show happening out there August 3rd. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and RPW before that has their Homecoming 2 event in Wapaka with a main event of Chris Masters and Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Anderson. And there's some awesome talent on the undercard. Laney Luck, Jasmine Allure.
The debut of AEW Ring of Honor star Cole Carter will be in attendance, so it's
stacked card. Like it's gonna be a fun summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely look forward to checking everybody out. If you haven't subscribed, like, comments, and hit the notification bell, please do so. You made it this far. We appreciate the support as always. And for today, Jerry the King Lawler, the class of 2007 Hall of Fame and former AWA heavyweight champion, stops by the show for some pro wrestling trivia. Check it out right now.
Without a doubt, my career will always be associated with that famous comedian, Andy Kaufman. Now the question is, what was the name of the host? What was the name of the show that Andy and I appeared on when I slapped the taste out of Kaufman's mouth?
All right, that's Jerry the King Lawler. If you know the answer to that trivia, drop it in the comments. Let us know. And Jerry Lawler, he's been around the Midwest for quite some time. We've all three of us have met him. He's been
Super nice guy.
a super pleasant human.
Classy.
Yeah.
Classy dude. Yeah, I got a fun Lawler story. I know you're gonna
Fire
ask.
away, yes.
So back in I think '04, and he's talked about this in his book. This was one of the last independent shows him and the Cat did. So Stacy Carter.
Sure, remember her.
And at the time, there was a person that helped out with wrestling shows a lot. One of the staff that did a lot of independent shows, and got this humongous bouquet of flowers and handed it to Stacy. And she was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much." Took 2 steps into the locker room and just deposited them in the garbage can. This is like a $7,500 bouquet of flowers.
Right, those things are cheap.
And obviously, like, they flew on a plane, so she's not going to be able to take it with her. Like,
Oh, wow.
but at the same time, you thought maybe she'd give it away. No.
No, straight to the trash.
Just tells them thanks and poof,
Straight
right in the
trash,
garbage
Wow.
without a care in the world. And wow. So that wasn't necessarily a Lawler story.
Well,
That
it's
was more of a
connected to
Stacy
him. So,
story,
yeah, if
but-
you got a fun Jerry Lawler story that you would like to share with us, please do so in the comments. That about wraps us up for today's show, Ultimate Wrestling, the trivia. Don't forget, we are at the Pro Wrestling Tee Store. Make sure you scoop up a T-shirt for the summertime. And as always, that is Mike Merc, the man in the middle, Dashing Derek. My name is Devon. We'll see you next Tuesday for Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show.